Jojo551 here, and this server has been up for over a year now, and even though not many people are on it, it's already got some growing pains attached to it. And sad to say that one of the original buildings that is on this server is going to see its last days. And I mean, it's not in the immediate future, but its days are coming to a close. And what's coming to a close is the final days of this shopping mall. And some people are wondering kind of why, who are on this server, especially when I just made an addition to blocks. Well, that's because I've learned some things after, should I say, I did this addition to blocks. If I knew what I knew before then, I wouldn't have went along with this. Is that there's so many new things being added in 1.8. There's not many vacant stores left, and I did add underneath. In fact, I'll show you that right now. Okay, here's the main mall, which is filled. There's blocks right there. Lester's Pants World. It's a real tough running gag. If you weren't around in the 2000s in the Doom community, you probably won't get the joke. Samantha Sweets. Bookstore. Artie Penguin, who used to be on this server, made this store, so not everything is mine. Rails and things on a rail. Fish market. Bed store. Pet store. Trees and flowers. And then the food court. And we need to set the time back to 0. And with 1.8, yeah, timing kind of stinks. Rabbit's Foot will be selling rabbit meat and mutton chops. Well, obviously mutton. Coming soon in 1.8 and 1.8. And user MC Scout, well, not exactly original, but still. He put in a McDonald's. So there's going to be a new mall that's going to slowly replace this thing. There will be advantages to the new mall. For example, the way things are set up here is that each store is 10 blocks wide, give or take some sort of design limit, like here. This was to kind of mirror this end because we had a subway stop and an entry point. Anyway, the thing is, your store was X amount of 10 wide, and which is right here, 10 wide and 10 deep for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and an 11th for an exterior wall. Now the problem is that you have to deal with the existing wall. You couldn't change it. That was a rule because it was a common wall. And if you wanted to make your own walls, you would have to give up a column here and a column here. So then you're winding up with an 8 wide store. The new mall will be, it'll be 13 blocks wide and I think 11 deep. And that is not including this exterior outer wall. And the purpose of the 13 is, as you can see here, store ends at this point. In the new mall, there'll be this partition, a decorative pillar, and a partition to the next store. So you can see that the main wall would be, say, right here. And this wall over here will be open, so the new design will allow people that want to make stores to make their own walls. Of course, still they can make their own floors and ceilings, but now they can add their own walls, where this design did not allow. And it's sort of loosely based off a design I had in the Templemans. So some people have said, and I did float the idea around, why not throw another floor on top of this guy? I started measuring things out, and the second floor decking would be way too narrow, and there'd be a ridiculously narrow slit of light here. It just wouldn't look good. So yeah, this mall, it's going to be a slow shutdown, but it's going to be shut down and gone. I just recently put in this music store where you can get every CD that comes with the game as of 1.7. The movie theater, I'm not going to care so much about. That was just something to make it more attractive. Nothing but gravel. Yummy. And Zanpolo made this a potion store, so I'm not sure how about I'm going to replicate this in the new mall, but this is over time, and the mall's going to require 1.8 textures, and as you know, if you've seen my videos, I do not do snapshots because they are known to corrupt worlds, and I don't want to deal with that, and I don't want to keep starting this thing over and over every time a snapshot's put in. I'd rather play it safe and go with something that supposedly will be working. So yeah, this mall's days are numbered. And when it was built, that's when hills started getting steep, and that's when I put in that parking garage. Then ultimately the baseball stadium over there, that too is waiting for 1.8 textures to finish. Those are interior walls that you're seeing. So I was pretty much limited width-wise to the land outside of this little area here, because this is when the hills were starting to get a little big. So that's how everything was kind of limited here. And I did a lot of blasting work to add in this food court. And this is pretty much as far as it goes. I mean, I could blast this hill and I could have went further back, but then it would be really close to the zoo and look dumb. So, what I plan to do with this land is make a huge addition to REoL Land Amusement Park. This gate will be moved up here near the front. I think the only thing I will save in this mall is the food court. I'm going to take the service corridors out of it. And there you go, you'll have food court. I want to add new rides to this mall. I mean, to this park, but there's very limited space. And most of this land is actually landfill. And some of the rides are on a somewhat believable pillar system. And Mount Hell, the roller coaster, I did not make that mountain. I just carved it out and put a roller coaster within it. There's videos for Doomtown, Mount Hell. And just recently, as of this recording, I did one on the Mayan ruins. So, yeah, REoL Land is going to expand. That gate will be pushed up to the front. I have some ideas for new rides and I need room for it, so the mall at some point will disappear. Like I said, it's not going to be fast. It's not going to be going out of business right away. I'm going to build the new mall, put in the stores, then of course stock them. Then at that point, we'll see how I'll take it from there. Maybe slowly kill off some of the stores one at a time. Then ultimately, sadly, this guy is gonna go. The very first casualty of original material on this server. Although the first thing completely devastated but not not destroyed is way over there where you can't see it. We had a little mini game where somebody set arson to one of the apartment buildings, and you had to try to find the killer, and you had to explain anything, and when you did, you won diamond stuff. Anyway, it'll no longer be down that road. It'll be down this road quite a bit, and I'm not going to bore you with the trip. So when we come back, I'll show you where the new mall is going to go. Well, you know what? Instead of doing that, what I'll do is I'll fast forward through. There's Columbia Downs, the half-mile racetrack, or roughly 800 meters around. Slowly filling in. And thanks to, I stumbled upon an Ant Venom video that showed me this trick, F3 and A, refresh. I think the server is kind of starting to get a little slow again. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is keep quiet, and what I'll do is I'll speed up the travel and show you how far it is from here to get to where we're going. If this wants to play cooperation. And the answer appears to be no. So, yeah. Might come back and do it. Alright, we're back exactly where we left off. Yeah, Fraps was slowing it down a little bit. So, alright, time for the speed run. After we pass the horse dealership. Alright, speed run now. And here we are, the piece of land that we've set aside, and notice I did not put a piece there. I like to make it just a little more challenging for people to just come on in. I mean, they could just jump over the block, but I mean, they get the gist that this is land to be used for another project. And as you can see, width-wise, it's not really much more, but definitely from front to back, it is a far bigger piece of land. And what I was thinking of doing, and I might not do it now, was to incorporate a parking garage within the mall, but I'm thinking I might put the kibosh on that, and instead, like I see in some of the more inner city malls, is we still have a relatively good size of somewhat flat land here that we can put a parking garage on and put some bridges and crosswalks in so they can get to the mall. This area has been chosen because, one, it's a big flat piece of land relatively. Yeah, there's some there's a little bit of a lake right here, but it's not horribly deep. I mean, these will probably get filled in as the building is being built and occupied. Otherwise, just some pillars and structure above it, and some hills that need to get blasted away. So this is where the new mall is going to go. I have a couple of names for it already. I'm going to go with right now Emerald City Mall. I'm not sure if I can get away with that. I'll see if there's things named Emerald City that are not pertaining to the Wizard of Oz. If it is, then obviously it's not truly a problem to use the name. If not, Emerald Town I'd probably go with, which falls under fair use. Anyway, it's gonna kind of have an emerald shape to it. I mean, not shape, emerald color theme going. Again, this is going to require 1.8 textures, some of the emerald colors for the mall, and the department stores outside of blocks are going to require 1.8 textures. And of course, once again, just to reiterate, I do not do snapshots with this server because snapshots are experimental, and experimental things are known to corrupt the game and your world, and I'm not chancing that with all the work we've put into this wonderful land. So that's the update, and as you can see, that other mall's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Georgia551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.